Hi everyone! One of the root causes of the Tamil struggle in Tamil are the consequences of the European colonialism. After the Portuguese and the Dutch, the Brits came to the island and fucked it up, like they did in many places around the world. During that time, the singular Buddhist nationalism emerged and the Tamils were artificially made to a minority. This led to the Eelam Wars and the genocidal massacre in 2009. In this colonial context that created this huge mess, a small country from Europe played a small but a crucial role in it, and that country is Switzerland. So let's dive into today's topic. Switzerland is known for the ICRC and for the United Nations office at Geneva, where the Tamils today are fiercely continuing their struggle for liberation.
Please help me! Please help me!
But don't let distract you from the fact that Switzerland's historical relation to the spoil of war was very nasty. In the medieval time, the Swiss soldiers had a notorious reputation, and to understand this, we have to briefly look on Switzerland's history. According to the Swiss mythos, Switzerland was founded on the 1st August of 1291, where the three cantons Uri, Schwyz, Nidwalden swore a pact where they would join defenses against foreign powers. Basically like Article 5 of NATO. To the contrary of the actual state of the NATO, the old Swiss Confederacy devastated many foreign powers like the Habsburger, the Burgundian and the Holy Roman Empire on the battlefields. And besides this, they also fought amongst themselves till they were conquered by Napoleon in 1798. In these 5 centuries, the Swiss troops gained a reputation for being ferocious on the battlefield. And besides their will, the Swiss troops established new tactics like the pike formation that was a military innovation at that time, which secured them victories on the battlefield. And these were the reasons why many European rulers wanted Swiss troops as mercenaries within their ranks, because troops from their own population could turn against them, and Swiss loyalty could be bought by money. And known examples for the usage of Swiss mercenaries was by France. Known as the Gardes Suisses, they were the personal bodyguards of the French king. It is noteworthy that this Gardes Suisses was massacred during the French Revolution. And also another known example are the personal guard of the Pope, that is still active today. In 1781, another Swiss mercenary regiment was raised. And that regiment was named after its commander, Charles Daniel de Meuron. And the Meuron regiment was under the service of the Dutch East India Company. The start of the regiment was very bumpy because of an outbreak of smallpox. After recovering from the losses, the regiment was shipped to South Africa. 3 years later after the arrival, Charles Daniel de Meuron relinquished his command of the regiment. He was later replaced by his brother Pierre Frédéric de Meuron. In 1788, the Meuron regiment departed to Ceylon, the colonial name of Eelam. Once arrived in Eelam, 5 companies of the Meuron regiment garrisoned at the Colombo fort and 2 companies garrisoned at the Trincomalee fort and 1 company garrisoned at the Gully fort. Other companies were also garrisoned along the coastlines. In Eelam, the Meuron regiment guarded the Dutch officials and also guarded the interest of the Dutch East India Company, particularly the cinnamon trade. As of it, in 1791, the Kandy king threatened to prevent the annual cinnamon trade, and for that, the Meuron regiment took part in an expedition into the Kandy. In the same year, Charles Daniel de Meuron, who had earlier left to Switzerland, was in communication with the British Crown because he was unhappy with the Dutch. And the reason for it was money, money, money. A crucial role for that played a person named Professor Hugh Cleghorn, who was an agent of the colonial empire of Britain. As he traveled across the European continent, he met Charles Daniel de Meuron in his hometown in Neuchâtel in 1788. And as the Netherlands were invaded by the French after the French Revolution in 1795, a new republic emerged, named the Batavian Republic. And the ousted Dutch ruler fled to Britain and put all the Dutch colonies under the protection of the British Crown. Meanwhile, the Batavian Republic claimed the control over the Dutch colonies. And this situation led to a confusion within the Dutch colonies and also in Eelam. And under these circumstances, Professor Hugh Cleghorn and Charles Daniel de Meuron traveled to India, where they passed a secret message hidden within a cheese barrel to the commander of the Meuron regiment, Pierre Frédéric de Meuron, the brother of Charles Daniel de Meuron, and let him know that the alliance of the regiment has shifted. And as the Brits attacked Ceylon in 1796, there was no meaningful resistance from the Dutch because of the confusion coming from the Netherlands, and also that the loyalty of the Meuron regiment has shifted.
Chaos isn't a pit. Chaos is a ladder.
And after the Brits captured parts of Eelam from the Dutch, the remaining Meuron regiment was shifted to India. There they were put on the payroll of the British Crown and were later even integrated into the British military. And Professor Hugh Cleghorn was rewarded with the position of the first colonial secretary of Ceylon. And Pierre Frédéric de Meuron even became the military governor of Ceylon for a short time. What followed afterwards was the British conquest of the whole island and unification of the whole island under one administrative setup that led to the marginalization of the Tamils decades later. And this laid the foundation for the Eelam Wars and for the Tamil genocide. And after their departure from Ceylon, the Meuron regiment took part in the Fourth Anglo-Mysore War, where the Tipu Sultan was killed. And they even took part in the Polygar Wars in Madurai and Tirunelveli. And the final battle was in Canada, where they took part in the war against the US. And in 1816, the Meuron regiment was disbanded. The history of the Meuron regiment is over, but not of its legacy. One of the descendants of this powerful family is Pierre Meuron, and he is one of the founders of the internationally known architecture firm Herzog de Meuron. And this company, as an example, designed the new hall of the Messe Basel. This is the place where the Tamils have recently started to commemorate the Maviranal. Today for the Tamil men and women who fought and fell in the Eelam Wars that resulted through an action from the ancestors of Pierre Meuron. History is funny, right? Thank you very much for your attention. I wish you a nice day. Please leave a like or a comment in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe my channel.